Okay, this is a work of the Cold War that took place in the years between 1947 and 1953. The Cold War was an ideological and political confrontation that took place between the Soviet Union and the United States. The Cold War began in the end of the World II in the 1945 and ended with the end of the Soviet Union in 1991. Neither of the two blocs ever took directions against the other. Why is the conflict called Cold War? The USSR mainly wanted to establish a Marxist regime, which was practically socialism. The United States wanted the opposite, trying to establish a capitalism system. Well, what is the socialism? The social, political, and economical doctrine based on the ownership and collective administration of the means of production in order to achieve a more equitable contribution of the wealth. The capitalism is a socio-economic system which the means of production and distribution are privately owned for profit. That is, companies own their own production which promote competitiveness and private property. The main countries with these ideologies were in the capitalism is the US, France, Japan, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Holland, England, Mexico, Belgium, socialism, China, Korea, Cuba, Laos, Vietnam, India, Portugal, Bangladesh, Tanzania, and Poland. In the Europe situation in the post-war was that Europe was very bad for all the effects that the war had on it, like deaths, destruction, fear, insecurity, etc. The partisans of the European Union were beginning to emerge again, now with the strongest argument for the maintenance of peace achieved after the war. And that's all. See you in the next evidence or whatever.
The United States and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union and the United States, because the United States intervened directly after the direct attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. What do I mean with this? That the United States joined England and Russia for having the same enemy in common. When the common enemy was defeated, the problems between them began. Japan, Spain, United Kingdom, South Korea, and Cuba. At that time, the opinion about the Cold War was very vague among Mexicans, since we were going through something called the Mexican Miracle, which consisted of Mexico becoming an agricultural country to industry and to the urban fact. The vote of the woman, the new president, among many things. The country was busier in all these things, and well, I think that's what it is. I think that's it. The type of armament of the two powers, the United States and Russia, was a devastating one. We feared the horrible weapon of the United States, the famous weapon, atomic war, as well as ships and tanks and different types of firearms. Russia was not left behind, and it had very similar weapons since they had already allied and shared information before.